Have you ever ordered something online and wondered how exactly it got to your house? You're certainly not alone. People may shop online a ton, but the order fulfillment process is still a little opaque. Not to worry though, we run an order fulfillment warehouse based in New Jersey, and so we're going to talk about what happens exactly when you click buy online. Supply chain management, done well, is a bit like magic. Online shoppers can go their whole lives without really understanding how to get items from point A to point B. And that's the way we like it. While we're making this video for regular online shoppers to stumble across when they're on YouTube, if you find yourself needing help making order fulfillment magic happen, we'd be happy to help. Request a quote by clicking the link in our description, and you can find out whether our services are what you need to make your business run smoothly. Anyway, that's enough self-promotion for now. Here are the 11 order fulfillment steps that take place within the walls of our warehouse that make online shopping possible. Step 1. Sellers notify us about incoming shipments. Before we can talk about what happens when you click buy, we need to talk about how goods wind up in our warehouse in the first place. Sellers have to ship them to us in bulk, which they do by booking freight. Freight is how you get large quantities of goods from one place to another, such as a manufacturer to a warehouse. Booking freight is a complex enough subject in its own right, and goodness knows we've written about it a ton on the blog. Suffice it to say, when something happens in the world of freight, like that boat that got stuck in the Suez Canal for a while, it can really slow down the flow of goods from one place to another. In any case, in order for us to prep our warehouse for a big shipment, we have sellers send us an ASN, that's an advanced shipping notice. This basically tells us when they're shipping items to us and what we can expect to find in the truck. This allows us to make sure we have enough people working a given shift to unload the truck in a timely manner. Step 2. Bulk shipments arrive and we bring the inventory inside. When the truck arrives, goods are typically packed in boxes. If there are enough goods, the boxes will be packed on pallets and possibly shrink wrapped to the pallets. Now, depending on the size and the number of boxes, we may use conveyors to slide those boxes quickly from the truck into the warehouse. Alternatively, we may use pallet jacks to move the entire pallets of goods within the warehouse. Now, with either method, the goal is to ultimately move that inventory to a designated place in the warehouse where it will be stored for the long term. Step 3. We update our records after receiving. Once we receive goods, we make sure to update the system to reflect where we're going to store them. This makes it easy to know where to go when we need to retrieve those items for order fulfillment. We also double check to make sure we receive the correct number of boxes or pallets based on the information included in the ASN. Step 4. The items are stored. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's really that straightforward. Either by hand or by using machinery like a pallet jack, we physically store the items where they need to go. Step 5. When an order comes in, we process the order data. Now this is where you come in. We had to set the stage before your part could be played because an order going to an empty warehouse just can't be fulfilled in the first place. So when you place an order online with a company that is using a fulfillment warehouse like us, a lot of things happen when you click on that buy button. The store will collect payment from you, and your shipping information, as well as information about the order itself, is sent to the fulfillment company. The specifics of how this happened differ on the software the company is using and which fulfillment company they're working with. Let's use a really simple and common example just for the sake of conversation here. Say you order 10 blue baseball caps from a local Shopify store. Your mailing address is sent to us via a Shopify Fulfill-Right integration. So along with your mailing address, we also see which SKUs, that is, unique items, you ordered along with the quantities you ordered of each item. So at this point, we know exactly what we need to look for in the warehouse, where we can find it, and to whom we need to send it. Step 6. We pick items from the shelves. At this point, we look for those blue baseball caps. We check our system to see where we stored them, and then a warehouse worker goes to pick them up and bring them to the shipping table. During this process, we scan the items so we know how many we're taking out of inventory. This allows us to keep a pretty accurate tally of how many items we have on hand. Step 7. We pack items for shipping. Once the items are delivered to the packing table, we determine how best to prep them for the mail. Breakable items need to be placed in rigid boxes and wrapped in cushioning material like bubble wrap. Other items, like t-shirts, can simply be put in poly bags. Choosing the right packaging can be a surprisingly complex topic in its own right. Suffice it to say, our goals are to pack items in the smallest packages possible while providing adequate padding so they don't break in the mail. Step 8. We print and apply postage. Choosing the smallest package possible is important because that's how postage prices are determined. It's all about the weight and the size of the package. Naturally, we want to save our clients, that is the companies you order from, as much money as possible. We weigh packages before we print postage, and we measure them as well. This allows us to buy and print the exact right amount of postage. Depending on where we're sending the package to, we might use carriers such as UPS, USPS, or FedEx. International shipping, we might use DHL or Sendia. And in other cases, we'll use regional carriers which you might not have even heard of, like PCF, Pitt, Ohio, Speed. Once we print the postage, we apply it to the package, and then we prep it for pickup. Step 9. Mail carriers pick up packages for delivery. Because of the amount of packages we ship, carriers stop by our warehouse multiple times a day, and before they arrive, we sort packages based on carrier. That is to say, UPS packages go in one bin, USPS packages go in another, and so on. That way, when the carrier arrives, they take the bin full of goods, and it's a very short stop for them. This is where our work ends and mail carriers' work begins. Step 10. Carriers deliver mail to your home. Now, mail delivery is pretty complicated too, and we've written about that at length. For the purposes of this video, mail carriers each have their own hubs and sorting facilities, and the trucks that collect packages from warehouses like ours, they all go to these hubs and sorting facilities. At that point, packages are prepped to basically go from hub to hub to hub. This is what's happening when you see a package go from Los Angeles to Las Vegas to Houston and so on as it gets closer to your house. Eventually, when your package arrives at the closest hub to your home, it's prepped for last mile delivery. That's when your local postal carrier picks up the package and drops it off at your place. It's at this point that order fulfillment is complete. Or is it? See, that brings us to step 11. When customers return items, we process them. As it turns out, as many as 15 to 40% of online purchases are returned, which is a very wide range and it differs based on who you ask, but even on the low end, 15%, that's a lot. This means a company that you shopped from needs to have a good, simple process in place for when items are returned. Now here's what that process usually looks like, though it varies from store to store. The customer will request to return the item. They print a return label and a local carrier picks up the package. The carrier then delivers that item back to our warehouse. From there, we follow instructions given to us by the seller on what to do with returns. Sometimes we put them back into stock and sometimes we throw them away. It depends entirely on the nature of the item and the seller's instructions. Either way, returns are an important part of the order fulfillment process too, even if it's easy to forget about them. And there you have it. The whole process of order fulfillment, everything that happens after you click buy on an online shopping site that you like. Now I know this process sounds really complicated when you spell it out, and if it sounds like something that you wouldn't want to do if you're running your own business, then take heart. We'd be happy to help you take care of it. You can request a quote by clicking the link in our description to find out if our services are right for your company. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and do all the other stuff that people do on YouTube. Thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate it.